Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. So we are moving forward into Psalm 91 today. And yesterday we talked about the importance of knowing the names of God and why that's important. Because there are two names of God given in the very first verse of Psalm 91. And to just stop a moment and think about all the names of God, all of the incredible things that we call him. But he has been given those names because he manifested himself as those names. That he manifested himself as Jehovah Nisi, my victory, my banner. That he manifested himself as Jehovah Rapha, my healer. That he manifested himself as Elohim or Hashem and Jehovah Shalom and El Shaddai. And that's what we're going to look at today. I want to talk about the names first, and then we will dig into a little bit more about what it's telling us about those names and how we experience God as the first name, the Most High. And so let's just read Psalm 91, verse 1. I'm going to read it in the King James Version because that is typically what we're most familiar with. And then I'm going to read it in the Amplified Version because that's just my jam. And that's what we'll do today. So Psalm 91, 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. King James. Now, the Amplified Version says, he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall remain stable and fixed under the shadow of the Almighty, whose power no foe can withstand. And when I'm speaking these scriptures or making confession of these scriptures over my life or the life of my children and life of my husband, that is the part that just is my favorite part. That there is no one or no thing can withstand the power of the Almighty. No foe, no enemy can withstand the power of the Almighty. So the first name that we are given in this chapter of Psalm is the Most High. That he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High. So what does the Most High mean? What does that mean? Well, in the simplest terms, it simply means the Most High, the highest one, the one above whom there is no one else. He is the top. There's no one above him. He is not just the high, but the Most High God. And he is my God. So the whole time that we're going through this Psalm 91 and we really look into these names of God, I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that he is not just the Most High God, but he is my God. The Most High God is my God, and I am his. Good news. So let's go to, this was just a great example, a great place to look at another place where the Most High God is used. And this is in Daniel, dealing with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So this is Nebuchadnezzar and Daniel chapter 3. So let's go there and read this story. So we're going to start in Daniel 3, verse 14. Or let's go to 13. So Nebuchadnezzar, in rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and these men were brought before the king. Then Nebuchadnezzar said to them, is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the golden image which I have set up? Now, if you are ready, when you hear the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, dulcimer, or bagpipe, and every kind of music, to fall down and worship the image which I have made, then very good. But if you do not worship, you shall be cast at once into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God who can deliver you out of my hands? See, Nebuchadnezzar, to him, in his realm and in his world, he is God. And so he is saying, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are Hebrew children. And they have said, we do not serve your gods. We serve the Most High God. And they chose, of course, to stand in not compromising their beliefs, their allegiance to God over Nebuchadnezzar. So, of course, that infuriates him. But again, he says, "And who is that God who can deliver you out of my hands?" Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered the king, "It is not necessary for us to answer you on this point. If our God whom we serve is able to deliver us," let's read the King James Version because it's a little bit more literal, and I'll explain to you why. But the King James says, "We are not careful to answer you in this matter. If it be our God, if it's necessary that we answer you for this, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if it's not, if you throw us in the furnace or you don't throw us in the furnace, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up." And then Nebuchadnezzar was full of fury, and his facial expression was changed to antagonism against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he commanded that the furnace should be heated 7 times hotter than it was usually heated. And he commanded the strongest men in his army to bind them and to cast them into the fiery furnace. Then these 3 men were bound, and their cloaks, their tunics, and their turbans, and their other clothing, and they were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame and the sparks from the fire killed those men who handled Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king saw and was astounded, and he jumped up and said to his counselors, "Did we not cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire?" And they answered, "True, O king." He answered, "Behold, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the son of the gods." Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and said, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you servants of the Most High God, come out and come here." And they did. They came out from the midst of the fire. See, Nebuchadnezzar saw that he was not the Most High God, that he was not the one in charge, that he was not the greatest, the all-powerful one, but that the God of the Hebrew children, our God, Elohim, Almighty, Creator God, is the Most High God. And there is no foe whose power can withstand him. And we will pick up here again tomorrow and move a little forward into Psalm 91:1. I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.